now. If you click the camera, there you go.
Ah, perfect.
Now. Yeah, I had to get that record button going because last time I forgot to freaking click it, and I did a whole video and didn't even record the damn thing. So anyway, so you're rolling, man. It's for those that don't know, I'm Aaron the Trucking Guy. Introduce yourself.
I'm James Dellinger, one of Aaron's drivers.
So you've been with us now for quite a little while, and you've also got your brother-in-law riding with us. He was here first and kind of recruited you over to the dark side, and now you've been doing it. And you went from this hotshot thing's new to you, right? So you went from doing you were a mechanic, right? You there? You froze. Can you hear me?
I'm back. There? Yeah.
It might be kind of spotty. But anyway, so you went from being a mechanic over to the hotshot side. You were a mechanic, right?
Yes. 16 years, BMW automotive technician.
Nice. How do you like it so far on the trucking side, going into a new industry?
It was a lot to take on at first. There's a lot to learn immediately, but as far as driving a truck and trailer, like I've done that a lot of my life. I used to race motorcycles, and we always haul the bikes with 30-foot gooseneck trucks. I was kind of familiar with what I'd be doing as far as hauling, and driving, but not on the bill of lading and signing and pictures and all that sort of stuff. That's kind of new. It was a little hard to learn, but everybody walked me through it. That made it real easy, especially you guys. So
you had the first couple of weeks here, inspections that were fun.
Yeah, I got to meet some state troopers. That was a good time.
But
South Carolina guy was cool.
Yeah, the Carolina guy seemed a lot better than the other guy. But anyway,
yeah, he was good.
See how things run here for a good little while now. What do you think about the next day pay and getting paid? And have you had any issues with back office or anything with our company, or do you feel like everything was your expectations were met as they were promised before you came on?
Nope. Pick up after asking me about the pay. What else did you say?
Oh, sorry. I said, do you feel like your expectations were met? What you were told, and promised, has been delivered since you've been on the team?
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah. That my bank doesn't allow like Saturday transfers. So if you had a bank that would allow like a Saturday transfer or Sunday transfer, that would be a little nicer. But everything happens next day. It's right on there. Azur's great with the pay, and anytime I need a question answered, you guys answer the phone. Everything's taken care of. So everything as far as my expectations, everything's been met. Everything's pretty easy, easy going.
That's what we strive for. I know the ELD, the electronic logging device, was kind of new to you. Do you feel like you're able to get your work done in enough time legally and make money and be profitable and be successful all under that ELD?
Yeah. It is difficult to honestly. The biggest part of is remembering that thing's there and it's clocking you. You know what I mean? Everything is as far as getting your time in and running an ELD. That's really pretty simple. And
I know.
As far as working,
I know a lot of companies, guys, they say, well, I hate ELDs. I don't want to run. I want to run illegal. I want to do that. And we're pretty, strict on it over here. So I'm just making sure you're happy with it and you haven't had any issues. Can you hear me?
Yeah. Yeah, you back? Are you there?
Kind of break out a little bit. Just on the ELD, just making sure that you're happy with being able to work it. I know some guys don't like it and they want to do things illegal. We're kind of strict on it here, just making sure you're good with it and you're able to be profitable in the amount of time that you need to run the loads.
Oh yeah, definitely. And I don't think you would benefit much by not having it anyways. You know what I mean? by the time I'm done driving at 11 hours, I'm tired. I don't want to be
Uh,
on it anymore. You know what I mean?
right, right.
So,
What about as
I
far
think,
as having a company behind you that handles the headaches, the problems? Like say you started your own company hypothetically, and that first situation happened where that DOT officer was really getting you pretty good, and you weren't be able to get on the phone with somebody like me to help you walk you through it. Do you think that would have been a struggle?
I guarantee you it would have been a struggle, and I probably would have been out of service that day. Because if I didn't have you fax over that paperwork, the only thing I could have proven to him was to call my previous employer, which they may or may not have even answered. So,
Right. And that was kind of
if
a
you
weird
weren't there.
deal. That was kind of a weird deal. I had never dealt with that myself, and for those of you watching, basically what happened is he was new that week, and he came on and got pulled over, and the guy wanted 8 days of logs, and he only had 2 days to show. But I mean, his registration was brand new, insurance certificate, everything was brand new, but the guy was going to place him out of service for violating the rules set by not having 8 days of logs. But you can't have 8 days of logs if you've never run before, and you're only 2 days on the job. So it
Yeah,
was kind of
it was. His solutions was to forge paper logs that I had been on the road, that had been off service for 8 days.
right. But so what we did is we just basically sent over the paperwork that we have most drivers sign that's saying that you didn't violate the hours of service between jobs, but because he came from a mechanic background and not from another driving position, the guy accepted it and we kept it moving. But it was really weird. That was an oddball deal. But so I mean, I'm just glad. I just wanted to get on the phone. I appreciate you taking my call, man. I just want to see how things were going and see how things are out there. I know this is a new job for you. And are you looking to go anywhere? Are you happy? You said you were loving it earlier. You're going to stick around for a while and stick with this and kind
Oh
of just
yeah.
keep.
Yeah, I think this job, this borderline's on fun, man. I really do. I like this. Like I said, it gets difficult to do some things sometimes, simply because you're just trying to get to that. You're trying to get to that next load in a proper amount of time, and may not be the ELD's fault. Maybe the way that you dropped off and somebody took too long to unload, and you keep rushing to get to that next one. Obviously within legal limits, but
Right.
it's fun. It's a good time. You're picking up, you're dropping off, you're talking to people. You got time throughout the day. If you need something taken care of, you can call and make a phone call or something. I think it's a good time. It's a good job. Everybody makes it easy for you, and I ain't going nowhere, man. I'm happy.
Yeah. That's kind of what I tell guys is, the best part about signing on with the company is it's our job to be the buffer between the pain in the ass stuff and your job and kind of make the good days outweigh the bad days.
Yep.
What do you think about our dispatch team so far? Have you had anything you didn't like or any loads you didn't feel paid adequate or, had any trouble reaching them or any problems at all with our dispatch team?
No, no. And the only one thing that I've actually had to turn down was a bus body. I was just not comfortable hauling it. It was a 40-foot long bus body, and I, as far as to my knowledge, I would have had to taken it through New York City. And now that I know a way around that, I'd be cool. I'd be cool taking that now. But I was just scared to take that through New York City because that was a little bit beyond my capability. I think just being new.
All right.
But other
All
than
right.
that, that's the only thing I've told her that I didn't want.
Right. So that brings up a good situation, right? I know when you come on, we explained to you that it's kind of, in essence, forced dispatch. You got to take anything that's in that map, right? Now, that's a perfect situation or perfect scenario because you didn't feel comfortable taking it and there was no confrontation there, right? You just said, no, I don't want to do it. I don't feel comfortable and it's on to the next one, right? So a
Yeah,
lot of guys they get hung up on that when I'm recruiting them. They're like, man, I don't know about this forced dispatch thing, But if you felt like you've been forced to take anything that wasn't profitable or to a place you didn't want to go or something that you didn't want to do?
Oh no, not at all. No.
Yeah.
Some have been good, really good, and some have been still profitable, but not as strong as others. But that's to be expected. Yeah, I knew that. So there's nothing that I haven't made money on, not one thing.
Yeah.
And
And that's what I try to tell. It's not all. I don't try to promise anything. The same way when I talk to you, it's not all roses. You know, it's trucking, and some days it sucks. You know,
Right.
it's not
Yeah.
it's a job. Anything with the definition of a job is not always going to be just freaking awesome, right? So
Yeah,
there's
right.
probably were more of a pain in the ass than others. And but you've been able to kind of run it all together and make it work and be happy. And obviously, because you told me today, you're like, man, I love this shit. I ain't never going back to anything
No,
else.
this is fun. This is fun. I said, like, the only issues as far as like time wise that I've ran into yet is getting somewhere uh, when after they have closed. You know what I
Right.
mean? And that's not that whether you had more time on an ELD or more time to get there or whatever, it wouldn't have mattered. You know what I mean?
Right.
Because you couldn't get there during their business hours. So
Yeah.
that's the only thing I've ever had any issue with. And other than that, everything has been really good. I mean, I'm super happy with this. Like, this is an easier job than being a mechanic. I'll tell you that. It's
So
actually it's mentally easier. I mean, it's mentally better and less stressful on you as a person. It really
yeah,
is.
yeah. Well, you were working on Beamers, man. They're a major pain in the ass. If you were working on a Chevy, it wouldn't be so hard.
I made a hell of a career, and like I said, I was one of the
Yeah.
highest trained in the shop, and I've had a great time doing it. But at a certain point in time, it gets too it's too mentally stressful to be on that flat rate system.
Yeah.
Which this is sort of like flat rate.
Yeah. This is a
But
whole new experience. You're getting to travel. You're getting to see the country. Every job is different. Every place is new. And I remember when I first got into it, it was like an adventure, and you're just like loving it. So
Yeah,
we'll talk
yes.
again in 3 years and see how you like it then. Then it'll be like, fuck this
I,
job.
I
Some
really.
people can do it forever. Some people, it doesn't work. After 3 years, they get burnt out, is the statistics anyway.
Right. Yeah.
But one of the big things is just, have you ever felt like, your pay has been held up for any reason that was unnecessary or anything like that? Because I try to pride myself on getting my guys paid quick. And I know I get a
Nope.
lot of calls, and every call, it seems like 50% of them are like, oh, this guy owes me $6,000 and won't pay me. Or this guy owes me money, I'm working for him or whatever, right? So I really
Yeah.
pride myself on that. And have you had any issues at all with pay or anything like that?
No, it's right there every time.
Yeah, that's awesome. So you were recruited over by your brother-in-law, and he seems to be loving it too. You guys are kicking ass and taking names. Got brand new equipment, air ride stuff. You're doing really good, and I'm happy for you, man. So I hope you guys keep staying successful. I mean, he's been with us now for a few months. I think you've been with us now, what, about a month, something like that. You're pretty new to the team, maybe a little.
Yeah, it's just 3 weeks. So
3 weeks, right? So.
Yep.
We'll talk again maybe in 3 or 6 months or something like that. Do another video, but I really appreciate you taking my time, man. Be safe on the road, and if you have any questions, shoot me a call, brother.
Yeah, no problem, buddy. Thanks.
Thanks, man. See you later.